Kansas City Chiefs beating the Buccaneers 30-24. I'll go ahead and get this one rolling. I heard interesting stat today. In overtime games, Patrick Mahomes is 8-2. Baker Mayfield, when they went out there for the coin toss, he looked down. He said, fuck, it's over. It's over. But I am a fan of – people are going to hate me for this. I love Nick Sirianni. I love Dan Campbell. We're not playing for overtime. We have you down. We're going for 2, and we're going to live with the result. You look to your left. You look to your right. You got Sterling Shepard and Kay Otten. Do you really think you can hang another 5-10 minutes? You got to go for it right then and there. It's rainy. I get it. Kevin, Patrick Mahomes almost threw 2 picks at the end of regulation. I get it, but it did happen. And like Kaz mentioned, Kareem Hunt is a monster. 27 carries for 106. Can you imagine what this backfield is going to look like with him and Pacheco? It's going to be unstoppable. Kaz mentioned DeAndre Hopkins, 8 for 86. And we've seen Travis Kelce, ever since Rashee Rice go down, look like the Travis Kelce of old. 14 catches for 100 yards. This team is looking phenomenal right now. So, Kaz, I'm going to swing it to you next. What were your thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs remaining undefeated, beating the Buccaneers 30-24?
Yeah, I mean, for my weekly predictions, I picked them to win, obviously, because the Bucs without their 2 guys. It sucks, man, because I'm really liking Baker Mayfield this season. I know in previous Stats Over Politics videos, I've mentioned, like, he has my respect. I think that I've wrongly disrespected Baker Mayfield for quite a few years now, actually, but it's just hard to pick him to go in there and beat the best team in the league when they're also on the road and they're, again, going against Patrick Mahomes and Kareem. I mean, it just wasn't meant to be probably even as close as it was. But shout out to Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers for making it interesting. As you see, 30-24 is the final score. I mean, and it went to overtime. So it's like, that was a good football game. But like I mentioned earlier about DeAndre Hopkins, it's not that I didn't really believe in DeAndre Hopkins, but he was balling. Like the way he was playing was great. It wasn't like he's just, wide open and he's catching, like, I think that one pass went between 2 defenders' hands and he caught it. Not many receivers can make a catch like that, like in the NFL. So DeAndre Hopkins doing what he does, playing with a lot of aggression, not a ton of yards, but definitely a lot of yards, and 2 touchdowns. What do you do? Like, what more do you need the Chiefs to do to prove that they might end up going undefeated this season? Like, they're doing without a lot more than a majority of the teams this year, besides 2 people, and that is literally Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. They're doing without everybody else. They literally without. You can always talk about the defense. Oh, the defense is good. It doesn't matter. Like, there's other good defense in the NFL. The Tennessee Titans have the best defense in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Steelers have a great defense. Are they undefeated? No. Well, they got, who they got? They got Patrick Mahomes. He is just that good. And I said it in previous takes too on Stats Over Politics. I told you guys. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, he had an interception problem. Patrick Mahomes no, he makes the plays that matter, and people want to see these 350-yard games, 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, and for them to lose, versus him having a pick or 2, him going for, roughly 200 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown, maybe 35 to 40 on the ground or something like that, and maybe getting sacked quite a bit, right? But they're still winning. You put any other quarterback in that position, I'm telling you guys, these games are not the same. The plays that he makes are the most important plays on the field at the time that he makes them. It's just that simple. So, not surprised by the win, obviously. Like I said, the Buccaneers are riddled with injury when it comes to their offense. And playing an Arrowhead as a can. I mean, I really think that they're going to make a true attempt to go undefeated. I think they are. Like you mentioned, Pacheco's coming back. Obviously, the addition of D-Hop was a good addition. And he uses guys like Ben Watson, and uses Noah Gray. I mean, he uses everybody. It's not like he's just Travis Kelce and Kareem Hunt. Added in DeAndre Hopkins in an immediate change. So I just think that we're going to witness the Chiefs try to do what the Patriots back in 2007, something like that, go undefeated for the entire season. And ultimately, we know how that's going to end when it's all said and done. They won't get it.
So, Toddy, I'm going to swing to you next. The Chiefs have won 15 games in a row going back to last season. And Cass says they can go undefeated. Toddy, I just had a quick question before I tell this to you. Do you know why they haven't won 16 games in a row? Do you know who ruin this little streak they got going?
The Raiders.
Nope.
Oh.
You like that?
They beat them.
You like that? I guess there's only one dude who could beat them. You know, when Thanos came
in Arrowhead,
Iron Man had to come and save the day. You know, no one else could do it. I am Iron Man. Toddy, the Chiefs beat the Bucs 30-24. What are your thoughts?
Fun fact about that 07 2000 Super Bowl.
It was a good game. It was a good game.
Oh, Kaz is showing
the audio-only listeners. Kaz was in presence for the
November
last
20th, 2023.
He was there. No rap, no cap in his rap. Fun fact about that 07 Super Bowl, I bet my cousin $5 that the Patriots would win, that the Patriots would beat the Giants, and I lost. I cried that day.
So you've been a gambler, huh? That's not just now.
You've been
doing this.
This is 07, so I got to be like, what, 5, 6, 8 years
That's
old.
crazy.
So, yeah, so.
Stop making me Cass feel old, Toddy.
Been gambling since. So, I think let's just give props to Bake May. A lot of people kind of wrote his career off after he left. Yeah, Freddie Kitchens was his head coach with the Browns. Let's just take a deep breath and say, you survived the Browns, Baker. Like, all the things that he had to overcome, he was there in Carolina. He went to 2 shit franchises, like back-to-back. Browns, Panthers. Like, what are we doing here? And then he goes to McVay, and on that Thursday Night Football game, kind of like revitalized his career in a sense, like with one game. And they're like, oh, this guy can actually spin it a little bit. Well, let's see what he is in Tampa. And then when he goes to Tampa, a lot of people, including myself, were saying that this was going to be a Caleb Williams sweepstakes team in the Tampa Bay Bucs. And he was battling with, who was the backup quarterback? Kyle Trask from Florida. I remember him. He was our Kev's guy, Kyle Pitts' quarterback in college. And I was like, this guy could kind of, this could be something here. And Baker is like, there wasn't even a question.
Baker said, show me the money.
Yeah. And he showed his ass last year. They went to the playoffs, won the division, won a playoff game, and essentially got paid. And I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes without Mike Evans and without Chris Godwin. A hell of a game that it was. And K. Dotton looked like the best tight end in the league last night, which was insane. On the other hand, how were the Chiefs able to get DeAndre Hopkins for a 5th-round pick, and the Cowboys got whatever his name,
something disrespect them.
I know the hell that even is
for a 4th-round pick. So the Chiefs were able
Kelly Mingo, not Kelly Mingo.
Cap don't even know his name.
I know it's Mingo. Kelly's our guy. What's his
name? Mingo. But he went for a 4th-round pick. DeAndre Hopkins went for a 5th. And you're just seeing all these
Jonathan Mingo.
You're seeing all these things about the Chiefs. They're not playing that good, and they're still 8-0, and this, that, and the third. And then they got DeAndre Hopkins. He scored 2 touchdowns. If you guys see, for audio only listeners, if you guys see me dancing at the bottom of our screen, I was doing the Remember the Titans celebration that D-Hop was hitting in the end zone after he scored.
That's crazy, but that was
and
crazy.
a lot of people were kind of slighting him for that. He's like, oh, I was giving a little tribute because get it. Remember the Titans, the Titans, blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. And the O-line was in on the celebration. This Chiefs team is scary. Like, they have a legit shot to go undefeated. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's like this is. I mean, the last team that was really able to do it was that the Steelers. You guys remember when the Steelers went like 10-0 at one point in time?
Yeah,
and they were like I think this was Big Ben.
Like, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
No, that was like.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't Big Ben. Yeah, no, that was
when Big Ben was the quarterback. I feel like that was the last team that people were talking about, but I never really thought that team had a shot to go undefeated and get all the way to the Super Bowl. I feel like this team had since Brady's 07 with freaking Randy Moss, and they had Randy Moss. Gronk, I don't know if Gronk was there yet. I know Julian Edelman might have been on that team still too, but that team I'd say was probably more talented. But this team, they have Mahomes, they have Andy Reid, they have Kareem Hunt. who they got off the street a couple of weeks ago, and they're as Kevin already mentioned, they're getting Pacheco back. They still have Travis Kelce who can make plays. Like you're throwing whatever you can at them, and you get them all the way down into overtime, and it's like, all right, if we get the ball, we're gonna score and we're gonna win. I don't think anybody in the world and this is the right call by Baker Mayfield. If I'm up there and they ask you're the visiting team, what do you decide? I'm gonna call tails too. Tails never fails. And then
it does.
And you look up and it's like, God damn it, it's heads. Who's getting the ball? Patrick Mahomes getting the ball at home, by the way. You could see it in Baker's face, like, I'm not gonna see the field.
I know how Josh Allen feels. That's what he said.
So I mean, when that happened, they just went down the field like clockwork. It's scary, man. And I'm looking at the Chiefs still have a lot of tough games on their schedule still. Like I see that they play the Bills, they still have to play. I do see the Steelers on there. Like, or do they play Steelers? I'm not sure. If Kev probably
I can look, I got you.
But I think they do. I think the Bills and Steelers are the only two hardest games left.
Like they have
they got the Jets. Maybe the Jets.
I don't know the Jets.
They got Broncos, Bills, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Browns, Texans, Chiefs, Broncos.
They got a couple possible.
So Texans, Bills.
No Steelers though.
No, Toddy.
Yeah.
But they got LA Chargers, who's floating.
Chargers always playing good. Chargers always playing good.
Chargers will be a tough game. But I mean, there's like a couple
sneaky
games on there where they can.
And they haven't played the Broncos this season yet, so the Broncos have been sneaky good as well.
There's my
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
he's not liking that.
Yeah, so I mean, I get it, Kev. Like the Broncos have been playing decent football, but I mean, they're gonna slap the Broncos. It's gonna be Spags is gonna make Bo Nix look like a rookie quarterback,
like did Brock, right?
No,
didn't Brock
pretend like we didn't?
What'd you say, guys?
Are we gonna pretend like the Ravens did not just dog walk the Broncos? We're gonna pretend it didn't happen.
The Broncos aren't any good.
Yeah, I know.
That's what Broncos, though.
But they've been winning games.
You just said the Broncos.
Brother, if you would have told me they were going to throw a wide receiver pass to Bo Nix and he was going to launch somebody,
it's a y'all play.
Everybody try to do what we do. They can't do like us.
Nick was open. Well, I would never throw Nick a jump ball. Bo Nix went up and grabbed that.
But I mean, going back to kind of the schedule, I mean, this is a very viable schedule for them to possibly go undefeated. Is that Buffalo game in Buffalo? I think it's in KC, to be honest.
It is.
They played in Buffalo for the playoffs last year.
In Buffalo.
Okay, so that'll be.
They get back a motherfucker.
That might be the one.